Listen.
Never in my life associated the word boring with baseball.
We know what's up.
Me? Yeah. Famous? Yeah.
And I'm like giddy over there smiling like, we're about to win this shit.
Did everyone give you crap? Give me a good, host story.
I'm not picking it up.
We both love the game.
We talk about it every day.
Can't get enough baseball.
Having some popcorn, you're fooling around your phone.
I'd have to wait in line for 3 hours.
Hang on, because it's about to be a wild ride.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back. This is Baseball Isn't Boring. I'm Reece Green. I'm joined today by my guest, Courtney Finnicum.
You nailed it.
I nailed it. I'm so bad with last names, honestly.
You nailed it on the first try.
Yeah.
Everyone tries to make my last name really fancy. I'm like, it's spelled literally how it looks.
I think I just ask. I'm like, what is it? And I just repeat what they say.
Yep,
I'm like, that's the easiest way to go about it. But host of the Pitch and Moan podcast.
Pitch and Moan
with Johnny Gomes.
Yep. I got to say, finally meeting you in lovely Seattle, Washington, the famous guy that had arguably the best Halloween costume I've ever seen, that still goes viral to this day, is pretty special. It really kind of highlights my Seattle trip here.
You know what's so funny is people will sometimes find out that it was me and they're like, oh, what?
Right.
But so my girlfriend and I, we were like, I bet next year we're going to see that costume from other people.
No doubt.
People will do that now.
No doubt. Now that, especially baseball fans, everyone's going to.
I had, it's so funny because I should have brought some, but my merch for stand-up comedy, after a show, that I'll sell is a baseball card with that photo on it.
Yeah.
It says the Lil Unit, and then there's some stuff on the back. But sometimes people will recognize me at a show when I'm talking about it.
Yeah.
And then they'll come up after the show and they'll be like, that was great. And I'm like here's the merch. It's pay whatever you can, pay what you want. Anything is, I'll take anything. And they're like, that's great. And one guy came up to me. I was opening for Chris Kattan at
oh my God. Saturday Night Live.
Saturday Night Live. Yeah.
Oh my God. Night at the Roxbury. You had to have seen it, right? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We were doing a theater and I was waiting out in the lobby and a guy approaches me and I just have him out. I'm not really I'm just like, if anybody wants one. And this guy comes up and he's wearing some Mariners gear and he walks up and he's like, no way, dude, I've seen this.
It's
You're the guy.
You're the guy.
Yeah. He's like, dude, that was dude, my wife, we loved this costume. That's amazing. This is hilarious, dude. You crushed it. And I'm like, oh, thanks, dude. If you want to buy a card, it's pay whatever you can, pay what you want. You give me a penny and I'll take it. And he just looks at me and goes, nah. He just walks away. I was like, what? What else could I do?
I mean, you're so excited to meet me, and you can't even give me a penny.
I'm like, I just want to give you one at this point. Just take it, man. But yeah, thanks for joining me today in the studio.
I'm thrilled.
I'm glad you recognized me, but I'm excited to have you in the studio today because I'm a big baseball guy, more of a neutral fan. I love the Mariners, living here. But what I love more than anything is just talking shit. And you seem like you really got that down.
All I pretty much do all day, every day is talk shit.
Yeah.
And I'm especially passionate talking shit about baseball.
Yeah.
The podcast that I do with Johnny is obviously called Pitch and Moan, but it's off of Bitch and Moan because that's what we do best. I mean, Johnny Gomes is a bitcher and a moaner as well.
You hear that, Johnny? You bitch.
Johnny is a bitcher and moaner, but I'm also a bitcher and moaner.
Yeah.
So
perfect combo.
So we're both just constantly talking shit about the game of baseball, but it's awesome to just talk about the game in general.
Yeah.
Just in general, because it is far and away my favorite sport, not even close. And to talk about it with like-minded people is super cool.
How'd you get into baseball? Have you always loved it?
I've always loved it. I grew up with a father that is a diehard White Sox fan. His mother, my grandmother, diehard White Sox fan. She was
runs in the family.
Runs in the family. She would be literally writing letters to Bill Melton.
Did he ever respond?
He never did respond, which pissed me off because I actually met him years later, and I said, Bill, my grandmother used to talk about what a stud you were and how gorgeous you were, and literally wrote you letters, and you didn't ever write her back. And he goes, well, do you blame her for thinking I was a stud? And literally his exact words.
You're like, all you had to do was respond. You're like, you know what you did to my family?
You wrecked my beautiful grandmother. But yeah, I mean, it literally generations of White Sox fans.
Yeah. Tough time right now. So you're stronger than most. but you're currently a White Sox fan.
I literally, when people ask me, oh, Cubs or Sox, 'cause I travel a lot for work, and people go, are you a Sox fan? Are you a Cub fan? And I literally say, and I said this to you earlier, I go, unfortunately, I'm a White Sox fan.
Right now, yeah.
Because it is so embarrassing to be a fan of that team right now.
Yeah. I feel like you guys are all, the solidarity is there, though. You know what I mean?
Really
like everyone
is.
is like on the same page.
I
Which
mean,
sucks, but it helps,
It's really the truth, because on Twitter, which is obviously how I got started into this podcast world, there's something called White Sox Twitter, just like any fan base has. And everybody is on the same page. I literally call it White Sox therapy. Like, we're just out there, again, bitching and moaning.
Yeah.
And just complaining and becoming one with how horrible that team and organization is right now.
Does it make you feel better when you lose a guy like Tim Anderson and then he goes to Miami and also sucks there too?
It's amazing that you said that, because I literally put out a tweet yesterday showing Tim Anderson's stats.
What are he's like?
Oh, he's
It's not good.
It's really bad.
I feel like he's probably enjoying the city of Miami though, knowing his personality. I feel like he's having a good time.
He definitely is.
Yeah.
He definitely is. And I will say, very nice person,
Sure.
Tim.
Yeah.
But his time was up on the South Side.
Yeah.
And he just has no power anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, this was a guy that, won the batting title.
I mean, I thought he was going to be like Hall of Fame. Not Hall of Fame. I was
Right.
like, this dude is fun to watch.
Fun to
Yeah,
watch.
electric player.
Electric player. He was kind of one of the first bat flip
Oh,
guys.
swag out of the roof.
Out
Just
of the
like,
roof.
yeah, it was crazy.
And now he's barely a bench player.
Yeah.
Like, he's hitting like 211.
If you're going to drop off, make it historic. So, like, good for him,
I mean, he's doing it.
Yeah. Go out with a bang.
And that Miami team in general.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
I mean, they get into the playoffs last year. Skip Schumacher wins National League Manager of the Year. Gone. And Miami's like making no bones about it. They're pretty much saying, you're gone after this year.
Yeah. And that's got to be tough, too, just to be like, oh, it's April.
Right.
And you couldn't have waited?
Correct.
You couldn't have waited?
In typical
Hey, we're going to fire
Marlins-
you in 6 months. Thanks.
Like, good luck to you. And now not only are we going to fire you in 6 months, we're also going to get rid of Luis Arias.
Oh, my God, yeah.
We're just going to do that.
I was traveling when that happened, so I hadn't checked Twitter in a while, which is probably good for my mental health. But
Fully agree.
I came back seeing the trade, and I was like, they didn't even get anything in return.
Nothing
I feel like.
nothing in return.
Yeah.
And the thing about trading bona fide major league stars, that's what Arias is. I mean, he is an offensive hit machine.
Yeah.
When you trade a guy like that for prospects,
Mm-hmm.
none of these guys could work out.
Yeah,
Like, if you look at that Mookie...
that's the spirit.
Sorry, Marlins fans, if you're listening, I apologize. But it's the truth. Like, if you look at, like, the Mookie Betts trade.
Oh, my God.
Again,
Red Sox fans.
My apologies to our friends in Boston.
Close your ears.
Close your ears.
Take a bathroom break for this.
Exactly. Literally. But what do they really get from a star like Mookie Betts?
Yeah, like a star.
A superstar.
Like the face of baseball type star.
Literally.
Yeah.
And that is the scariness about kind of gutting your team.
Yeah.
I mean, I keep saying for the White Sox, right? Like, I would trade Luis Robert. I would do it in a second.
Yeah.
But what are you going to get in return?
And also at this point, I mean, for the White Sox, it's like you get rid of Dylan Cease, and it's like but you still have the offensive powerhouse guy.
Correct.
And it's like you're just going to keep him around. Like,
And for what?
you might as well just pretend you're trying to get prospects back.
Agreed.
Just fake it for the fans.
And that's kind of my thought. And by the way, Dylan Cease, 12 strikeouts today against the Cubs.
Big fan of Dylan. We did a podcast with him. Shout out
Yep.
to Dylan Cease. You're the man. Always rooting for you.
And I fully agree with you. Dylan is awesome. He's quirky. He's fun. I was very sad to see him go, as you can well imagine.
Yeah.
But he's killing it in San Diego.
He's so nasty. Like, he's just
Nasty.
a fun dude to watch pitch. Yeah.
And watching him get traded, really, for guys that it's like, you might work out, you might be a bust.
Right.
It's scary to lose that kind of talent and not really know what you're getting.
Yeah, especially when like the prospects coming back aren't like, it's tough to be a prospect, but like
Right.
I'll read the names and I'm like, usually I would have heard. I'm like somewhat in the loop here.
Right.
And I don't know any of these guys.
I mean, it would make
Which is fine, but
right.
you know.
But like, it would make you feel better, at least me feel better about like a Dylan Cease, or if they trade Luis Robert. If you get like a Jackson Holiday type player.
If you get a once in a generation type talent. if you get the number one prospect
Number one.
in all of baseball, how about his debut though?
You know,
I'm not worried about him. I think it's just crazy to how well he was doing and like how fast he was going through the ranks, unprecedented, and then gets up there and just the worst start ever, I think.
literally lays an egg.
Yeah.
And I did one of my first podcasts with Johnny. We talked about, these slow starts. Are we worried about a Jackson Holiday? Is this a concern? And there is actually an impressively long list of Hall of Fame players that started off extremely, extremely slow.
Yeah.
Cal Ripken being one of them.
Mm-hmm.
There is an impressive list of Hall of Fame players that have started off shitty.
And it's also like, he's 20.
Right.
Clearly he's got the skills. He's got the talent to do
Right.
this. He is a smart player.
Yep.
He's a hard worker, it seems like, where it's just, hey, rough start. It's 33 at bats.
Exactly.
Go refresh in the triple A
AAA.
as a 20-year-old.
Literally.
Yeah, it's not like they're cutting him. They're like,
Right.
hey, let's take a breather.
Yep.
You're gonna be fine. It's not like the Orioles are like, well, he's a bust.
He's a bust. We can trade
he
package
can't,
him.
He can't drink yet, guys. Like,
And like literally,
give him some time.
he's 20 years old, but
Yeah.
if you look at him facially,
Yeah,
the guy looks like he's 15.
he really does.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm 36 years old, and this guy looks like he can be my son.
Yeah.
Don't ever repeat my age, by the way, people. Don't ever
Cut
say
that.
that. Cut that. Alex, remove that. But yeah, when Johnny and I did this segment, Johnny's like, I was sent down 5 different times in my career.
Yeah.
Like, it happens.
Yeah.
Now, my biggest thing is and of course, I've never been a Major League Baseball player. Isn't that shocking? Again, don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
But
She's 40 and never been a Major League Baseball player.
wow, wow. I thought I liked you. Now you're slowly ruining your reputation with me. But to me, like, when you have this stud player, wouldn't you sort of want him to maybe work it out up on the major leagues? Like, because a guy like Jackson Holiday, who has succeeded at every level, flying up the ranks, he may not have had a lot of unsuccessful times in his
Right.
life.
Yeah. Not a lot of struggles.
Sometimes struggles is what make you a player, make you a human being.
Yeah.
Sometimes that can be good for someone.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I do agree. I think it's also like, if at that level and you are like the Baltimore Orioles right now in this year, like shooting for the pennant, like you're trying to get to the World Series.
Right.
Like you have one of the best teams in baseball, I think.
Agreed.
And it's like a guy like Jackson Holiday who you want to promote and perform, and he's like he's the future of the team. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? Him and Adley and Gunnar Henderson, all those guys, like clearly they've worked well together and they're like gonna be around for a while, it seems. But when you come up and you go 1 for 33 or whatever it was on a team like that in a conference division like that, you can let him work it out, but it's like we do need production.
Agreed.
So maybe it's like, hey, send him down. It's a mental thing. I think he's fine with the struggle, but like sending him down, that's going to hit the ego too. Like,
That's a good point.
you
Yep.
can struggle it out at the major leagues and not perform, or you can like have that kind of reality check of like, hey, let's, maybe send you down, figure it out, and then we'll work it out later. But
And you also don't want to crush a 20-year-old kid's confidence either.
Sure, yeah.
You kind of want that swagger a little
Yeah.
bit. So there is such a thing to send him back down. Get
and
him.
I'm excited to see him come back up whenever that is. I don't know. By the end of this podcast, they might have brought him back up. Who
Literally,
knows?
we can
But-
go on Twitter and all of a sudden he's back up. Who knows?
Who knows? But I'm excited for him. Like, especially, that Orioles farm system is
They're
stupid.
stupid. That Norfolk team, they played the Charlotte Knights. It was like the first week of the season. And I believe, from what I remember, a 3-game series, they scored, I believe it was 48 runs.
Jesus Christ.
In that series.
Jesus.
Alone. That is quite the powerhouse.
Yeah, tough time to be a Knights pitching coach, I feel like.
Tough time to be just in the White
In
Sox
the White-
organization.
Yeah, that's true. I pitched at that stadium, the Charlotte Knights.
The new one or the old one?
Is there a new one?
Well, there's a new one that's downtown Charlotte that's gorgeous.
That's the one I pitched in.
Oh, what did you think of that?
Oh, amazing.
And they
Beautiful.
Beautiful
Yeah.
stadium.
Yeah.
And they literally sell out almost every game.
Yeah.
Like, the crowd is crazy.
Yeah, it's in a great spot.
Great spot, great city, Charlotte.
Yeah. But speaking of prospects, we got this weekend against, or I think it's against the Cubs, right?
My forever hatred, Chicago Cubs, my neighbors to the north. Now, don't tell anyone again, but I live near Wrigley Field.
Oh.
So I've gotten a lot of secrets out in this podcast. So
You're in
far.
enemy territory.
I really am.
Yeah.
And I'm such a Southsider, like the way I act, the way I talk.
Yeah.
Like I'm in like no man's land where I
Yeah,
live.
you're up like, what the fuck are you people doing?
Literally.
Yeah.
Like,
How are you
come on.
guys all? Why are you guys smiling today?
Right, like please don't look at me
Yeah,
and
yeah.
while I walk down the street.
You're not wearing any gear. They're like, I can tell she's a White Sox
Big
fan.
time. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
but-
I can't hide it.
But Paul Skenes coming up.
Which I think is awesome.
I'm excited for it.
You know, baseball is in a really good position right now because they have a lot of young talent.
Mm-hmm.
And at times, and I'm sure you'll agree, you know, MLB doesn't do a great job of marketing their young talent.
Totally agree.
And what I
Or their developed talent. Sometimes.
their marketing in general
Yeah.
is a lot to be desired.
Not great,
A
yeah.
lot. Like you look at the NFL and they're the kings
Yeah.
of this, right? MLB needs to really step it up.
Yeah, and they don't. No matter how much is going, like
Yep.
Mike Trout. Why everyone should know who that is?
And why aren't they showing us? He actually does have a personality, Mike Trout.
Yeah.
Like you would never guess because nobody knows about him.
Yeah.
Like he's great with the fans.
Yeah.
He's very hospitable. You know what I mean? But you're not going to know that because they don't market him correctly.
Right. Or yeah, he'll be on one commercial for like a split second. And you're like,
Literally.
oh, okay.
Okay, I guess who is that guy?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
Mike Trout.
Oh, the Angels. Okay, I don't really care.
Right. Well, speaking of the Angels, so Paul Skenes, I saw an interview with him. This was obviously before he was called up, and he grew up an Angels fan,
Mm-hmm.
like diehard Angels fan, huge Mike Trout fan. And sadly, the Angels just left. They just finished the series today against Pittsburgh.
Oh
He's
man.
not going to be able to debut against his favorite team. I was kind of disappointed by that.
Yeah, I was like, well, also, when is the next time the Pirates are going to play the Angels?
Thank you.
Like,
Hey, honestly,
that seems like a strange match. I like that all the teams are now playing everyone, but
I absolutely love that.
it's still like hearing that matchup. I'm like, when was the last time that happened, and when was the next time it's going to happen?
And literally, they addressed this on the broadcast today,
Yeah.
that this is such a rare
Yeah.
occurrence now. And it's like, it's cool that it's going to become a little bit more regular. But
Right.
but Paul Skenes pitching against his childhood team, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, man, we were so close.
Yeah, but I'm excited to see him pitch. It's also crazy because like I'm very into college baseball because I played college baseball, but also the talent that's there and the development of guys at that level is beyond me at this
Right.
point. Like how good they are and the numbers they're putting up, and it's like every team in the SEC has a guy throwing 100, at least one guy, and you're like, what the?
That is
What's
crazy.
going on?
What
Like-
is going on?
Like Paul
Right.
Skenes was throwing 102. He was in the College World Series pitching against Wyatt Langford, who's in the major leagues.
That's right.
Who started the season this year in the major leagues.
Yep.
And they were both playing against each other in the College World Series finals last June.
I mean, last June.
Less than a year ago.
Correct.
And they're both in the that's
Yeah, see, that's
mind blowing
wild.
now.
And that's why I honestly think that some of this, you know, oh, we need our prospects to develop in the minors,
Yeah.
right? To me, that's so overrated.
Yeah. Some
So
guys
overrated.
are like, hey, they're as ready as they're gonna be.
Exactly.
Throw them out there. Like
Throw 'em out there.
And Paul Skenes is one of those guys where I'm like, okay, get him a couple innings, get him warmed up, and then, you know, he's just playing against children at this point.
Did you see his stats?
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
They're unbelievable.
Under 1 ERA, I think, in the minors.
I think it was like 0.68 or something like that.
Stupid. Yeah.
It's like this guy doesn't belong playing in the minors. He's
Yeah.
a major league pitcher.
I do want to. So we have the draft coming up.
Yes.
I think next month.
You are correct. Yes.
Yeah, and I don't. Who? The White Sox don't have the first pick, do they? I don't know how it all works.
You would think they would.
Next
with how
year they
shitty
probably
they've
will,
been.
yeah.
No, they do not. I can't remember who it was now.
Who knows? But
Yes.
so I like reading some of the like draft like mock drafts or
Yep,
whatever.
so do I.
But I do want to read you. So this is Charlie Condon. He plays for the Georgia Bulldogs. And also talk about struggle. He walked on at University of Georgia a few years ago, redshirted his freshman year, and then broke out last year with a great season. And then this year, I'm going to read you his numbers through 181 at bats.
Oh my gosh.
Hitting 459, 16 doubles, 33 home runs,
Oh,
slugging 1105. Has more walks than strikeouts on the year.
hear that, Chris Getz?
That's
Maybe that's a guy you think about grabbing.
yeah, maybe. That's crazy
That
to
is,
me, though.
those are crazy numbers.
But that's a guy where it's like, is this guy major league ready? Is he's like,
Right.
it's like Paul Skenes coming up. Like he was playing against kids last year where I'm like, this is
Right.
not the same level.
And that's the Sox have a guy who allegedly is going to be very good, Colson Montgomery.
Okay.
Infielder, struggling in AAA right now. Right now, struggling in AAA. But this is a kid that is is ready. To
Yeah.
me, he's ready to come up. And everyone, all White Sox Twitter, they're always on me like, no, Courtney, we can't be developing these guys too quickly. Like, let him take his time. I'm like, there is such
He's going to ruin our playoff chances if we bring him up too fast.
That is almost the exact conversation I had yesterday. I'm like, why?
What do we have to lose here? Like,
There's no pressure right now. Why not bring this kid up and see what he can do?
get him some ABs.
Get him some ABs. Let him see some major league pitching.
Yeah.
And who gives a shit?
Literally, who cares?
They're going to lose over 100 games.
Yeah.
I mean, before we even got on today, I looked, they were already losing to Tampa.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, it's like, this is silly.
Yeah.
Let the kid come up. Let's actually have something entertaining to watch.
Yeah. Let's get excited about something.
What a concept.
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, it's a tough time to be a White Sox fan. Hey, but it's the AL Central, so maybe you guys could pull it out.
So I will argue that. That was Chris Getz, GM of the White Sox. That was his biggest thing last year. Like, oh no, I still believe we can compete in the AL Central. Royals are much improved.
Yeah.
Cleveland is one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah.
Stephen Vogt, hello. I
Great.
mean,
Great. Yeah, talk about.
amazing.
Yeah, that's a guy who's going to be around for a long time as a manager, I think.
And the thing about Stephen Vogt, former catcher.
Mm-hmm.
Former catchers make awesome managers. For whatever reason, they're smart. They know the game. I had Terry Francona on a couple months ago, and I asked him, I go, Stephen Vogt, he's never managed, never even coached. What do you think of this guy? And he goes, oh, no.
He knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing. And
He's
the
running games.
players are going to love him.
Yeah.
And sure enough.
That's what you need. What catchers do make great managers because they're like calling the game. They're seeing everything how it is. Game managers.
Yep.
But a guy like that, I think, is not too far out of his playing career where it's like he's still, you need someone who can relate to the players.
Fully agreed.
And also has that vision that he has. So it's a nice mix. So I'm excited to see what he does. But they're crushing it. Like you said, one of the better teams in all of baseball right now.
And back to my bitching and moaning about the AL Central because it's a hot button of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then have the Twins that just got off a 12-game win streak. At one point, every single team except the Chicago White Sox were above 500. I guess not such an easy AL Central after all.
Yeah.
So.
But, historically, I guess. It's fun to make fun of it, Be
Yes.
like, hey, well, even the Cleveland Guardians are going to end up with 87 wins or something. Yeah.
And honestly, when it's all said and done, it could still be like that.
Yeah.
But as of right now, they're looking.
All that matters
pretty
is
solid.
getting into the playoffs. Like, I love to talk shit about it as much as the next person, but it's like the Twins whoever could get into the playoffs and then make a run. Like,
literally.
Diamondbacks last year. Rangers. The Rangers probably shouldn't have been a wild card team,
Agreed,
but
yes.
Diamondbacks just making that run,
Making the
sweeping
run.
everybody. Yeah.
Yep.
It's like, as long as you're there, anything can happen.
And that's exactly what I say. I don't care if we have 82 wins and we sneak into the playoffs. I will take my shot.
That's playoffs.
It's the playoffs.
Yeah. Anything could happen.
Different animal.
How far are we into this podcast? How long have we been going? 24.
Oh, all right.
All right. There's a new sponsorship.
With Wasabi, professional and collegiate sports organizations can store all their data affordably and securely. We offer flat rate pricing per terabyte stored and don't charge for egress or API calls. To learn more, visit wasabi.com today.
So what we did is we went and stopped by and got a tube of wasabi. And I don't know how we're going to incorporate this. So let's maybe make a little game or something, but he wants us to do hot or not. You love wasabi, though.
I love spicy food in general.
Okay.
And one thing I am looking forward to is having a little bit of that and maybe clearing out my sinuses.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. I've had a nasty allergy season.
Oh, no, not me.
Oh, well, so I'm ready to get cleared out a little bit, but I don't want my dinner ruined.
Yeah, well.
That's my problem. Seattle's got a good food town. Like, I don't want that ruined.
I also feel like I'm going to have a really bad rest of my evening after having this. Like, I'm going to have spoonfuls of just raw wasabi, and people are going to be like, why are you sweating so much?
We could be sweating.
Yeah.
Now, what we could do to make it easy on both of us, we could do like 2 questions.
Yeah.
And whoever gets them right, wrong, in between,
Okay.
we'll just do like a little tip on our finger.
Okay.
So we're not completely
I've had the
spoiling our
world's
evening.
hottest hot sauce, and I didn't die, so I feel like this will be fine. But this is a different kind of spice, so.
Now, where did you have the hottest hot sauce? I love hot sauce.
I was in Vancouver at a bachelor party. Yeah.
Well, that's my next trip,
Yeah.
potentially, is Vancouver.
You can buy it, I think, online, and we just had it with us.
Okay.
And so we were, I think it was, I don't know if it's still the world's, but it's part of that Hot Ones game where
Yes.
you do truth or dab, but all the questions, that game sucks because all the questions suck.
They do suck.
They're like, who's a friend that you don't like? like either tell everyone or take a dab of the world's hot. You're like, oh, I'll just say
who it is.
Yeah, I'll just say who it is.
Right.
And so we got to a point playing that game where we all just were answering the questions, and we're like, all right, we're just gonna eat the hot sauce.
Exactly. Literally, yes. At this point.
Yeah. So that was the first. I will say there's an asterisk because most of us were on mushrooms at that point. So I think it blocked some pain receptors.
I would imagine it did.
And I was like, this is fine. Our one friend who was getting married was dying next to us on the floor. He's like, are you guys did you guys eat the hot sauce? He was like crying and sweating. We're like, yeah, man, you're being a real baby about this. And then we were like, we got over, I don't know.
Overstimulated?
No, overstimulated, but just like, we were like, let's do another one. And that one wrecked us.
That wrecked you.
Yeah, I was like, why did I do this? I shouldn't have done this. So I think I'll be able to survive this.
I think you can, and we're sober as far as I know we're sober.
Yeah.
So I think we can handle it. But
Wasabi.
I mean,
prepared wasabi in a tube.
I never thought I'd see the technology.
I think I might just start carrying that around for no reason. People are like, why do you have that?
And it's like a conversation
Yeah,
starter.
yeah. I'm like, if you want to talk to me, you have to put a little on your finger.
Put it on your finger and
yep. Put it up your nose.
So how do you want to do this?
I feel like you could. Okay, so trivia. We could do. Okay. I feel like you're more in the loop with baseball stuff going on, like actual like numbers wise of like teams, what's going on in the loop. I'm more of like a neutral. I hear about stuff. Mm-hmm. So we could do. I don't know. We could do just some trivia and see what I know right now. See how well versed I am in the current landscape of Major League Baseball.
Okay.
However you want to do that. Or we could just do hot or not.
Let's do hot or not.
Okay.
Yep.
That doesn't really involve wasabi, but either way.
Or we can both do baseball questions to each other.
I think we should do that. I think we're both just going to end up taking a shot of wasabi.
Correct. So let's just, you know what? Let's just wing it. We'll ask each other a baseball question.
I want to smell this.
Yeah, what does it smell like? That is a good question.
Wasabi?
It smells like wasabi.
Oh.
Is it really bad?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
Oh, boy. Look what it's kind of Dijon-y, which I love.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
This might be like a weird kink for me at this point. I might really enjoy it.
Yeah, you're like, you start carrying, you can take that home with you if you want.
And really just have a good time with it in the hotel. I don't know. I mean, I might be enjoying this.
Okay.
All right, here we go. How do you want to do it?
Fuck it, I don't know. I'm just going to do it.
You be the guinea pig.
Ugh.
The color is sort of off-putting. Moment of truth.
I really don't like the smell.
You're not gonna vomit, are you?
How do you swallow it?
I don't know. I'm scared. And?
It's spicy. Oh, I hate that.
You hate it.
But we like wasabi hot cloud storage. Way more than this.
I'm not even. I didn't even take this yet, and I'm dying.
Yeah. It's not that hot.
I mean, should I do it? Should I just do it?
Well, yeah. If you like it, you'll be fine. I just was like, it's not the spice. It was the taste of it. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this.
I'm gonna make sure my water's near me just in case I have an issue. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little bit.
So hot or not,
yes.
And then you take it, and then I'm gonna read the hot or not question, and you have to answer it while you take it.
So should I hold this right now?
No, just do it now. Just take it. Yeah.
All right, here I go. Here we go. Cheers, guys.
Cheers to this. It just looks like we're carrying around paint. People are like, are you eating paint?
You know, it's not terrible.
Hot or not, teleportation is better than invisibility. It's not even a hot or not. I don't even know. It seems like he had that in his head.
Wait a minute. I can breathe again.
Nice.
Who knew that wasabi could do this to me?
You want any, man?
Producer
sure?
Alex, you in?
Okay.
Oh,
you
my
did give us a
goodness.
tip on how to.
Whew.
It wasn't that spicy, though.
No, I'm good.
Come on, man.
You want me to do one?
Oh, now you're in.
We got producer Alex trying it now.
Yeah. All right, let's see. I promise he's doing it. He just squirts the whole thing in his hand. Nice. Oh, that's a way bigger one than we did.
Oh, my God.
Nice. See, you come to work, you get a little bit of wasabi.
You know, weird
Isn't it
shit
great?
happens in
Thanks,
Seattle,
man.
people. Weird shit happens. You've heard the rumors. It's the truth.
This is dinner for me.
Oh, man. You know, that's not going to ruin my dinner. That's actually not terrible.
Hot or not, wasabi in a tube.
Hot or
feel,
not.
How do you feel about it?
I would give it 6 out of 10.
I breathed in.
We got producer Alex choking, guys.
He did have way more than us, though.
He actually did.
I just love how we start talking and then we just hear. He's like, I gotta go.
Oh, that's tremendous.
Yeah,
that's tremendous.
Hot or Not wasabi. I like wasabi a little bit on my sushi and stuff, but not too much where it's overpowering.
I don't want it overpowering. I never want spice to be like, oh my God, I need to drink half a bottle of water.
I'm
Just
also
enough.
I'm also like a pale white dude, so like I love spicy food, but it doesn't look like I do.
No, I would agree.
So people are like, I'll order it, and it's actually kind of insulting. Like especially here, I'll go to like get Thai or something or
Of
Indian
course,
food, and I like give them a spice level, and then they'll be like, just so you know, like this level is like really. I'm like, thank you.
I know it.
I
I know
appreciate
it.
it. You're doing your due diligence, but like, it's fine.
I
I'm
got
gonna
it.
look like I'm dying, but I really enjoy this food.
But I'm loving every
I'm
second
loving
of
it. Yeah, dude. I start sweating.
I might be flop sweating, but I'm loving it.
Oh man, I'll eat like buffalo chicken wings, which is not hot.
No, it's not.
Hot
Not at all.
Hot socially, like
Correct.
love buffalo wings, but spice wise, I'm like, this is nothing.
There's
And
nothing, yeah.
I will be in public just sweating, and I'm like, whew, like dabbing up my forehead with like napkins and stuff, and people are like, "Are you okay?" Like I've been out with friends, they're like, "Are you good, dude?" And I'm like,
Do you need assistance?
"Yeah, yeah." They're like, "We get this guy some milk at dinner." Like, no, that's too embarrassing.
But at least we survived.
Yeah, I think we're fine. Rob, I gotta be honest, man. This is terrible. I don't want to ever have raw wasabi again. I hated the flavor more than the spice. The spice was not bad at all.
The spice was not bad at all.
Yeah. And I'm not sweating, so.
No, I think we're okay.
Yeah,
we
we're doing
survived
good.
it. Our dinners are not going to be ruined.
You want to take
most
this to
important.
dinner?
You know, I kind of do. No, I don't.
Okay.
It did clear me up for a few seconds, though. That was helpful.
That would that'd be really funny to go to dinner publicly and just pull that out.
I mean, imagine I'm sitting over at, some lovely Seattle establishment.
Yeah.
I'm just pouring wasabi onto like my burger.
Out of a tube.
Out of a tube.
You're like, ma'am, you can't.
I'm like, I'm from Chicago.
Yeah,
just
it's
let me
rude.
be.
They're like, oh, okay. She's
And
gonna.
she's a Chicagoan.
She's gonna.
Not only is she a Chicagoan, she's a Southside Chicagoan. That's.
Is there anything? Okay, back to baseball. I'm sorry, buddy. Wasabi hot cloud storage. Check it out.
Thank you for the new partnership.
Yeah, thank you for the partnership. But back to baseball.
Yeah.
Baseball isn't boring. I love talking shit, especially as a player. Like in the dugout, like especially as a pitcher. If I'm not pitching, there's a lot of time to just like. I know the game's going on, but like it's what the guys are doing.
Literally.
Having a good time in the locker room, at practice, whatever. But we love talking shit. Maybe not about the people. Like also, I want people out there to know, if you're listening, when we talk shit, we're not talking about these players as people. We're not. I'm saying we're not saying that they're a bad person.
Yes, true.
If we talk about them and their numbers in the big leagues, I'm not like, this guy's a bad guy.
Correct.
Like I think some people are like, what? Like why are you talking shit about him? I'm like, this is not deeper than them on the playing field.
That is correct. And I always like to preface that as well, because it's like the person and the
Except
player.
Kurt Schilling.
Well, you want to bitch and moan about Kurt Schilling?
Yeah,
you got
let's
the
do it.
right person
Yeah.
sitting here.
Hall of Shame, first ballot.
Hall of Shame, blocked on Twitter by Kurt Schilling, one of my claim to fame.
How'd you get blocked on Twitter? I feel like with him, there's a short fuse.
Very short fuse. Very short fuse. But this was years ago, and he's one of these guys that likes to Google his own name on Twitter.
100%.
Shocker, shocker. And I was just talking my normal shit about him because it's such an easy target. All of a sudden, I go to his page. Garrick38 has, by the way, Garrick, how dare you?
Yeah.
Garrick38 has blocked you. And I'm just like, that's fucking amazing.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's a sign of respect.
I mean, I'm like, and I literally, because people will say, who's the most famous person you're blocked by? And I'll be like, I got Kurt Schilling.
I don't know if I'm blocked by anyone, but.
Oh, I'm disappointed. You got to get better about that.
How do you check?
Well, so if you're talking shit about someone that really deserves it, then you'll like go to his page and it will literally show you.
So I know, but if I'm like not, there might be someone years back or something.
Right.
There's got to be a list I could see of people who have me blocked.
That is actually
there should be.
That is actually a very good question. I love
because some people will block you for no reason. I've seen that, which I think is hilarious. People will be like, "Why am I blocked? I haven't even talked to this person ever."
There was this very random White Sox historian that lives in like Montana.
Okay.
And somebody mentioned, this was years ago as well, somebody mentioned him to me, and I looked him up, and all of a sudden I see, I can't even remember his name.
Yeah.
But so-and-so has blocked you.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Where you're like, what the fuck?
Like, when did I ever interact with this person?
That guy just really doesn't like you.
Just does not like me. I get it. But at least give me a reason for not liking me.
Yeah, it's true.
I understand not liking me.
Find his email.
I really should. I can't
Find his
remember.
address.
I don't even remember his name.
Send him a letter, a handwritten letter.
Like a
You
box.
can't block my mail.
Physically block my mail.
I'm coming to find you.
And a handwritten letter.
Yeah.
Gotta really make it personal.
Please unblock me.
Please, I don't even know what I did.
Is there anything right now in baseball that just like infuriates you? Like watching it as a fan, we don't have to talk about the White Sox anymore, but like just as in baseball in general, because something I'm sure you and Johnny have talked about, and something as like a former pitcher, but like umpires.
Umpires are unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
Angel Hernandez, every fucking game that guy umps, there's an incident.
I will say, hell of a union they got. There's no repercussions at all.
Zero accountability, no
That's
repercussions.
crazy.
And I mean, between Angel Hernandez, CB Buckner, like how do these people stay employed? Union.
Yeah.
Union.
And it's, I don't know who was fighting for that. I don't know who their rep is, but
To me.
good for them.
I need to be hired by this union.
Yeah.
I could just completely fuck off all day, every day. No accountability.
Yeah. Well, also, like, I think it was a couple weeks ago, maybe it was the Twins game, or maybe it was last week, the Twins game when Byron Buxton was walking off the field because he was injured.
Against the White Sox.
And one of the field umpires yelled at him to get the fuck off the field.
Hurry up and get off. And he's like limping.
That's crazy.
And this is a player that has had years of injury issues.
Yeah.
Like,
And even
if you're not.
even if it's like, okay, clearly, like,
he's in displeasure of some sort.
He's not like just holding up the game.
Correct.
You want him to run off the field? Like, why would he? That's unacceptable.
It's beyond unacceptable.
Yeah, you're a bitch. I don't know who that was, but you're a bitch.
Well, what?
And Moan.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hashtag bitch and moan, pitch and moan.
Yeah.
But one play that happened this week that every time I see it, I just laugh my ass off. It was against the Mets Cardinals. Brett Beatty was making a play, and he completely runs into Doug Eddings.
Okay.
The third base ump.
Yeah.
I mean, and it looked, the way he ran into him, it looked like he was doing the play with him. It was absolutely incredible.
Did he get thrown out? Like,
no, he didn't. He was knocked out for
Okay.
like a few seconds. It was just a very funny
the umpire got knocked out.
Not like unconscious.
Oh man, that would have been funny.
It would have been very funny.
Yeah.
But the way it looked, find this clip. It's hysterical.
Okay.
It's hysterical. Do it right now.
Should I?
Do it right
Vamp
now.
for me. What was his name?
The umpire?
I'm not good. Or Brett Beatty,
Yeah,
you said?
Yeah. From the Mets.
Brett Beatty from the Mets.
Is Brett his first name? Why does it not sound? That doesn't sound right. It is Brett Beatty.
Brett Beatty's growth. No, I'm not gonna find this.
Put like Brett Beatty umpire incident.
Good for him though for being a man of the people though. Running over an umpire.
I mean, it was just a hysterical play the way it looked. But back to the ump show, which really does need to end. Are you, as a former pitcher, are you for robo umps?
I think. I don't remember all the details, but I think Max Scherzer hit it on the head when he was talking about it. It's like there's got to be I do love having an umpire there. Like it's just a part of the game. Like it's always been there, and so it it's
a human element.
It's a human element, which but also when that affects actual like numbers and people's careers and all this stuff, it's like okay, the robo umps, like we do need some. I think they're doing it in the minor leagues where you can contest a call now.
They are.
Yeah, which is, I think, that's a good start.
It's a good start, but there's been a couple, not just affecting guys' careers, but like there has been 2 games that I can think of off the top of my head where an umpire decision literally ended a game that was very, very close. Yeah. And it's like you're literally affecting wins, losses that could catch up with these teams in September.
Yeah, what you get to the end of the year and you're like, we're half a game back.
Right.
Like that was the you look back to it's like these games count too, you know.
And that also drives me crazy when people say, "Oh, it's early." Well, when you lose a division by 1 game,
you're gonna look back and be like, "Fuck, we should have."
Literally,
it's like those games all count towards.
And I mean, there's a saying in baseball like you can't win a division in April, but you can sure as fuck lose one in April. Yeah. And that's the truth.
I've been saying that for years, you know.
Oh, I'm not surprised. You're ahead of the game. Pardon the pun.
I do like. I mean. I think we're all just used to having umpires there. And so it's like, as a pitcher, when you get a call that goes your way, but also it's like, I understand as a player, you get rung up on one that's like, they know, who knows the strike zone better than the players?
It's exactly correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
Yeah. So it's like.
When they're bitching, there's a reason why they're bitching.
And also I gotta say, I am super impressed sometimes where I'll watch the reactions of guys. I rarely see them get it wrong, at least when I'm watching. Because they have the strike zone on television a lot. Yeah. Especially for like casual viewer.
Absolutely.
But like a guy will get rung up on a pitch just inside, but it's a ball.
It's a ball.
And it looks like, you take away that zone and it looks like a strike.
Absolutely correct.
And then I'm like, damn, they know that it was an inch off the plate.
An inch.
Yeah. And it's this weird like sixth sense thing, and I'm
That's
like,
it.
it's super impressive. But also, like you said, those at bats come down to runs, comes down to wins and losses.
That's it.
And that can affect the season. But yeah, robo-umps, they got to figure it out. But
I agree.
You know.
I agree.
Yeah. How about the uniforms? How do you feel about those?
Oh my God.
They did say they were going to make a change.
They're finally rectifying it, but it doesn't sound like it's going to happen this year.
That's crazy.
I mean, you haven't really seen these in person yet, or have you?
No.
Oh my God. I go to spring training every year as well. The very first spring training game I went to, I'm like, this is unbelievable.
Yeah,
they literally look like something you would order off, the internet for cheap.
My Randy Johnson jersey that I got off eBay from China.
That's it.
Much better quality.
That's what I mean.
Actual stitching.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, it's unbelievable how bad they are.
Yeah.
And guys' pants are ripping when they're
Crazy.
sliding.
I bet the jerseys feel like the numbering and like the lettering needs to change, but I bet the jerseys feel better. Like they feel nice, but it doesn't really matter. You know?
I mean, I feel like their point was to make them look like lighter.
Yeah.
Or like airier. I don't know.
It is crazy to sell those to fans too,
God.
at like a markup or whatever.
That's what I mean. They're not cheap.
Nuts. Yeah, it's just like print on. Yeah.
I mean, I can make them, down in the city for,
Yeah,
$10 a pop.
Yeah, they're brutal. But I haven't really, like, watching a game, I won't really notice it, I
Yeah.
guess. But maybe in person it's way
In
worse.
person's unbelievable.
Yeah. I do love that so much pushback got them to be like, okay, we're going to try to make a change.
Exactly.
Maybe they just said that. They're not going to do it, though.
God, could you imagine?
Yeah.
I mean,
I totally could.
I could too.
At this point, they did it already, so.
Literally.
Yeah. Why would I believe that they actually care?
It's.
Yeah.
What do you think of these City Connects?
I think, okay, great question.
Yes.
Because I see a lot of discourse on Twitter about this.
Of course.
There are some, I like the creativity of it. Like, I like the idea of having these.
Yep.
Some are unbelievable, like the Rays.
Rays are awesome.
Probably like number one, I think.
Yep.
I like a lot of the other ones too, but every time, except maybe other than the Tampa Bay Rays, every time a team has dropped theirs, every single response is trash. Like, these are
Absolutely.
garbage. I'm like, guys, relax.
Like, you read the comments,
Yeah, I'm like,
and it's like, oh my God.
Jesus.
They always say, don't read the comments.
Yeah.
but sometimes you got
It's
to
like,
read the
take
comments.
it easy,
I
man.
know,
Like,
I
it's
know.
okay.
I mean, I like when they combine, like, with the White Sox did. The South Side with the black and the white.
I like theirs.
It looks actually like kind of their uniform already. It's just a different riff on it.
Yeah.
But I like it when it looks like their uniform, and it actually has, like, quote unquote, a City Connect.
Right.
Like, you don't have to explain the City Connect.
Right.
Like the Mets came out with this one.
I don't think I saw theirs yet.
It's the helmets are cool, the hats are cool.
Okay.
But the jersey itself, not a huge fan.
Yeah.
And it's all like, oh, well, if you look at the stitching, well, you can't really see the stitching.
Yeah. Why? Yeah. What?
Why am I looking at the stitching?
Yeah. I'm on the third deck of this Major League Stadium.
I can't really see the stitching
Yeah.
or appreciate it. So, like, the fact that you have to explain kind of what the connection is to the city, I don't like that.
Yeah.
It should be obvious.
I agree with that. I also think it's like you're doing this creative thing with the uniforms, and some of them have these like detail, like some of them look very good, but some of them it's like you could have taken one extra step or added one more thing and it would have actually made it a really good uniform.
Absolutely.
Like the Detroit Tigers just came out with one and I'm
so
like
disappointed.
Terrible.
And a city and a team that has so much history.
Yeah.
And to just completely fumble. And that was the one that I was really looking forward to this year. Like, I can't wait to see how Detroit does theirs.
And I also like that people will like go on Twitter and they'll design their own, but riffs off of the ones that they release. And they're like, oh, all they had to do is add this one extra thing.
And it looks awesome.
And I'm like, oh, that looks great.
Correct.
Totally changes the uniform.
Correct.
Yeah. Also, very funny to me because I don't think Detroit's are the worst. They're pretty bad, but the hats I think are the worst.
I mean, just the plain
It
Detroit.
just says Detroit.
And again, a team that has arguably
That's
the best actual uniform in the game.
Classic.
Classic.
I used to love it. I used to have a Tigers hat when I was younger, just because I loved
that Detroit Old English D. Are you kidding me?
Back when Verlander and Scherzer and all those guys were kicking with them. Yeah.
And they wore that uniform and it looked great.
Yeah.
And then to like have to wear that now like once a week.
Brutal.
Horrible.
Yeah.
The worst, I think the worst are the Phillies. Have you seen the Phillies?
Are they blue and yellow? The hats are the Liberty Bell, maybe?
The Liberty Bell is cool.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the hats are good.
Agreed. Except Detroit.
Except Detroit.
Detroit
Honestly,
really fumbled it. I don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah.
But Philly, that weird bluish, gold, yellowish.
Is it like is there like a gradient on it? Like there's like a fade?
Yes, and I'm like, this looks cheap. Again, it looks cheap.
Okay, who has the best? Who has the worst? So Phillies is the worst, you said?
Phillies is the worst, and I'm not just saying this, but I think White Sox have.
I
one of
like
the best.
theirs, yeah.
Yes, and I also like the Angels. The
Angels have a great one.
And they kind of have, again, a riff off their old school California Angels.
I like
look.
that a lot.
I like that too.
Theirs look, I think, maybe the cleanest.
I would agree, the cleanest.
Yeah, I think. How many teams are left?
So there's a handful so the Yankees are for sure not doing it.
That's okay. They're not.
They're not.
Okay, I was
No.
like, are they gonna do one?
They're not doing it.
Honestly, good.
And I understand why they're not.
Yeah, especially seeing some of the ones that drop.
Oh God, the Yankees, the classic Yankees, can't happen.
Can't happen.
But
You can't, at all. There can't be
literally.
any misstep.
You
Yeah.
cannot screw up the
So
Yankees
it's better to
uniform.
just not do it.
Just leave it alone.
I respect it.
And Oakland's not doing it because they don't have a city to connect to.
Oh my God,
What a
that's so
surprise.
sad.
Terrible.
That sucks.
But
because I bet theirs would be fucking cool.
They would be because they also have a great uniform.
Yeah.
The Oakland A's have a great uniform.
And there's history there. And,
Huge history.
Oh man.
And by the way, they're in town in Seattle. A few days. Mariners,
A's.
And the A's are playing great.
They are playing. They got the best
playing
closer in
great.
the game right now.
Best closer in the game.
Yeah.
Hitting home runs.
Are they?
They are.
Okay.
They
I just know
are.
that they have a winning record, I think.
Or
maybe 500, but
they might be one below 5. We're speaking now, so I think they're one below 500.
yeah. But they're doing better than I think everyone thought.
Everyone thought they'd be like on the White Sox level.
Yeah.
And they're exceeding all expectations. I think
Yeah.
it's really cool.
So it's probably like what? The Rockies, the Marlins, and the White Sox at the bottom?
That's literally them.
Oh.
Yeah, that's them.
Are you guys at 10 wins yet? Do you guys have
No.
double digits?
No, we're not. We have 8 wins.
That's
8
man, that
wins.
is brutal. Wait, I'm gonna look
Yes.
up the standings here.
8 wins.
MLB standings.
But back to the city while you're doing that, the City Connect.
Yes.
Phillies probably have the worst one. And the ones that have to come out now are Cleveland, St. Louis.
St. Louis, I feel like will have.
I'm excited for St. Louis.
Yeah.
I hope they don't drop the ball like Detroit did.
Yeah, they probably will.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
They need to do something with powder blue, I hope.
I love a powder blue.
Same.
If you do it right, I love it.
Same.
I think the best ones, or at least my favorite.
Yeah.
I think aesthetically, Cincinnati Reds.
Those are, I mean, the black and the red, right?
I love all black. If you're gonna
Same.
do it, it's like I don't mind it not being white pants. I don't like the mismatch
Agreed.
pants. Like the Mariners, I thought were so close. Like
I like those. I like the hat.
Once again,
Hat is very
great
cool.
hats.
Yep,
Yeah, but
yep.
I would have liked it more if they just went all blue.
Yep.
Or all black. But the
mismatch.
I think it looks okay.
Yeah.
The jerseys I think are sweet for the
They're
Mariners.
sweet. I agree with
yeah. But I really like. I think just that black and
The
red.
black.
It looks nice. I don't know how much like City Connect there is.
Right.
But same with the Orioles, the black and orange. I think I just like all black.
All black.
Because I like the White Sox one too.
Yeah, it seems like you like the all black.
With accents of different colors. I think looks sharp.
What about the Washington Nationals? With the cherry blossoms?
I thought those were okay.
I like that because, again, you don't have to explain it.
I love the City Connect. I think
Yes.
aesthetically, I don't love the way it looks.
Okay, that's fair.
But I do like the City Connect part of it, like
Yes.
having the cherry blossoms. in
That's
there.
cool.
Yeah.
I think because, again, you don't have to explain that.
Yeah.
Like the cherry blossoms, that's Washington, D.C., you know?
So
mean,
I would
that's-
say, I gotta go with Tampa, and I think Tampa overall number one.
It's awesome. Yeah.
And then my favorites to look at are the Reds, but maybe I'm just
You like that all clean black.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, everyone looks good in black.
It's hard to miss.
Hard to miss the black. I agree
Easy
with you.
tip for people out there who don't know that yet: just look like a stagehand all the time. Wear all black.
It's also very thinning.
Yeah.
Very thinning.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a good look.
Who else? The Rangers had mismatching pants
Yeah,
and jerseys.
those were funky. I didn't
Yeah.
love those. You know, the first batch that the White Sox were a part of were by far the nicest.
Yeah.
They were the most original, and now they're kind of falling off, just like the regular uniforms.
Do the Dodgers have one?
So the Dodgers did have one the first time, complete fumble.
Okay.
They're coming with a second one this year.
They get a redo?
They're redoing it.
Oh my God.
They're literally redoing it. It's the truth.
That's crazy.
They're
Just giving it to the Dodgers. They're like, you guys can redo it.
Like, we're just going to redo
Yeah,
it. We
yeah.
know we kind of screwed this up.
Yeah. They're like, you guys need to redo it.
Yeah, this is hideous. You got to redo it.
Do the Giants have one?
Yes.
Love the Giants regular jersey.
So
Some
do
of my
I.
favorites.
Those are
yeah.
classic. Those are classics.
But they don't have one out yet?
Dude, I feel like they do, but it's not ringing a bell.
Yeah.
It's not ringing a bell.
I feel like we would know.
Yeah.
And then
Cleveland's coming out with theirs this year.
yeah. You know who? Okay. Worst and best overall uniforms.
Ooh.
Because City Connect, we don't have everyone, but
Yep.
there are I think some very bad uni combos out
In
there.
general?
Just for any team, yeah.
So we kind of talked about it. I'm a sucker for the powder blue.
Great, yeah.
The Phillies powder blue is sweet.
Yep.
St. Louis's powder blue is sweet.
Yeah.
But as far as overall best uniform, I'm going to give it to Detroit Tigers.
Yeah. Clean,
You know,
classic,
classic.
white with an accent, like a little navy blue.
And what I like about
And the orange accent I love
orange is
too.
great.
It's nice. Yeah.
But what I like about that particular uniform, they don't change it.
Yeah.
That has been the same forever.
Yeah.
Like even like the Yankees have, tweaked their uniform from year to year sometimes, but it's,
Stick with what you got.
stick
Yeah,
with what
especially
you
if it's
got.
a classic logo and it's clean and it looks nice and
Yep.
everything. You got what you need.
You got what you need.
No need to.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
There you go. Classic.
That is it.
Do you like the Toronto Blue Jays powder blue?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I like the Twins powder blue as well.
I forgot they had one.
Yeah.
Wow, there's a lot of teams that have one. Atlanta, do they have one?
No,
They used to?
And Atlanta's one of my least favorite, actually. Sorry to my
Their
Braves
regular
fans. Yeah, not a
home or
fan.
away or just overall?
Overall.
Yeah.
There's something about it. It looks cheesy to me.
I miss the. I'm a South Florida kid,
That's
but
true,
I
yeah.
miss the old Marlins
Fully agreed.
jersey and the teal and the black and the white.
They brought it back last year for Friday home games.
They need to bring it back for every game.
I agree with you. I love that hat.
Yeah.
It's a nice look.
Beautiful.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
And again,
they're-
that teal, that's nice.
Oh man, when they rebranded, whenever that was, new logo and colors,
Yeah.
we were like, "What the fuck is this?"
I would imagine.
Like orange and rainbow color.
And
We were
that
like,
block
"What
of the Miami,
is
it's like, ooh.
this?" Yeah,
And
that
that
was-
almost looks like a Bat City Connect.
Yeah. That's true.
It's a Bat City
Yeah.
Connect.
They revamped a little bit though, so
They did.
they're back to it. I like what the because the Diamondbacks a while back had a big misstep with those
Huge misstep.
remember those pants?
Horrible.
Those
yes.
were brutal, like the
Brutal.
gradient pants.
Yes.
But I think they've gotten it back.
They've gotten better.
They can add some more teal, I think.
I fully agree.
Yes.
Anything
fan
with the
of-
teal.
Big fan of the teal.
Same.
Um,
I like the Sedona red that they have going on now.
yeah. Oh,
red?
they have good City Connects.
Yeah, they have great City Connects.
I forgot about them.
Yes.
My
great City
my
Connects.
apologies to. Oh, Colorado's aren't bad either.
They're the license plate.
Yeah.
I love that actually.
The mountains in it.
The mountains and the green,
I also
yeah.
love that they went away from the colors. They were like, let's go
Agreed.
with.
Let's just do our. And
Yeah.
again, you don't have to explain that.
Yeah.
Like that is the license plate of Colorado. It's
Yeah.
actually very cool.
Yeah, I like that one. Man, I forgot about quite a few of them.
Shameful.
I'm sorry.
Bella shame.
Yeah, we do need one of those.
we really do.
I think maybe I'm jaded to it, but the Houston Astros have a navy blue jersey that looks like a batting practice jersey.
Yes, it does.
And I hate it so with a passion. Like if I see it on TV, I'm like, why are they playing it? Like it
Why
looks
are
like
they-
a
why are they
warm
wearing
up
it?
jersey.
Exactly,
Yeah, it's
yes.
I think it's so boring.
Yep.
It doesn't look bad, but I'm like, this looks. You're
Cheap.
you're a Major League Baseball team.
Right,
I think
right.
they're home and away. I think it's fine. The white.
Yep.
Or the orange, whatever.
The
I love
orange
it.
is nice.
I think
The
it's
orange
nice.
is nice. I like the orange.
Um,
You must be loving their struggles right now, though.
Yeah. What'd you say? 12 and 23.
12 and 23.
Good. Their reign is over.
I hope.
I mean, I'm gonna regret saying that. Someone's gonna clip that in October.
100%.
And
Be like,
God damn it!
After they won like 95 games.
They're gonna come back and win the fucking division. They're gonna beat the Mariners by one game.
Literally. Where they could have maybe won a game in April that they didn't.
Yeah,
The Mariners, watch that happen.
Yeah, we're gonna. The last few years as a Mariners fan, like,
Yeah.
at least I'm not a diehard. Like, I haven't been here, but they were one of my favorite teams growing up. I would always
Right.
fall asleep watching them on the East Coast.
I love that.
Felix was my favorite pitcher of all time.
Classic.
And it was when they sucked.
Right,
And
they
now
did.
that to see them like come up and be so close,
I know.
or get to the playoffs, but then kind of just fizzle out.
Fizzle out. Yep.
But the fact that it hopefully won't be the Houston Astros this time.
And it's going to be interesting if this continues on. I mean, we're already looking at mid-May, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, everyone's like, God, are they going to start unloading people? Like, are they going to start trading people? Like, what's going to happen?
The GM said something about it where he's like, we're too good to do that, which is
It's like, okay.
hey, great, keep it up.
Yeah, exactly. 12
yeah,
and 23.
It's working well.
It's-
Hope I don't have to eat my words, but whatever.
I mean, they have, the good news is they do have a large hole to dig out of.
Yeah.
That's a hole.
And at the top too of that division, it's like you got the Rangers
Right.
and the Mariners,
Yes.
and then I feel like the A's are going to be a pesky problem.
They're going to be a problem.
Yeah.
They're going to be a problem for teams.
I hope they keep people out of the playoffs.
I
I hope they
hope
come in
they
and
do.
like at the end of the year,
Destroy people's playoff
they're like, all right, we
chances.
got 3 games we got to win against the A's, and then they just get swept by the
Swept.
A's.
And it just ruins their playoff chances.
Yeah.
I agree. I think the A's are going to be a problem
Yeah.
for teams.
Before we wrap it up, though, I think of I like to talk about this because it was such a crazy game.
Yeah.
But that 18-inning playoff game against the Astros,
Oh, yes.
I was there.
Oh.
And it was, I mean, as a pitcher,
Yeah.
love a nice pitcher's battle.
Same.
2 full games.
Yeah.
0-0.
I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Yeah.
But even I had other things I had to do, so I ended up leaving like the 16th inning, which is still crazy.
Other things to do.
Yeah, I lived on a boat, and I had scheduled a big party called Boat Prom, and so I was the only one not there, so I had to go home and change.
This sounds a little douchey.
Yeah, it was a great party, but also we lost, so.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my thing. I was like, if we leave and they win on a walk-off, I'm going to kill myself.
Well, but if that did happen, I would expect you to tell people that you stayed throughout the whole thing.
No, I can't lie to the people.
Oh, that's actually true. What's this? Because I would literally mock you if I find out that you left that game and they won. Oh, I'd mock you. For
I wouldn't go to baseball games anymore.
Yeah, you literally.
Yeah.
You'd be banned.
That's okay. That's okay. I can watch it on TV. Oh wait, probably not because they black it out.
Correct.
In local markets.
Another huge mistake.
Major League Baseball, figure it out, would you?
And learn how to market your teams and your players and be appealing to fans.
Hot or not, MLB marketing. Not. You hear that?
Hot or not, pitch clock.
Hot.
Hot.
Yeah,
Scorching hot, I think.
I like it.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's sort of saved the game. I mean, attendance is getting broken.
Yeah.
Ratings.
Games are quicker too.
Games are quicker.
I'll go to games now and like I forget about the pitch clock and I'll look up. I'm like, oh, we're in the 5th inning.
Literally.
Like, this is great.
Angels Pirates this week, hour 55.
That's crazy.
Hour 55.
I feel like that says something about the pitch clock and the teams
Fully,
involved.
fully agreed, especially that game.
There's
But
layers
still,
to it.
There's many layers to it, but still, hour 55.
Yeah.
Unheard of.
Before we get out of here, do you have your own socials to plug? I forgot to do that at the beginning, but
Yes.
Courtney, thank you for sitting in. This was very fun. Remember to like, subscribe. If you're listening at this point, you probably already know about it.
That's
Tell the people where they can find you.
So Twitter, Instagram, Courtney883. Very easy, very simple. Subscribe to Baseball Isn't Boring, Pitch and Moan. You can hear me bitching and moaning all year round.
With Johnny Gomes, I'm Reece Green. This is Baseball Isn't Boring. Thank you guys so much for listening or watching. We appreciate it. Have a good one, guys.